We'll be the good
Yeah.
cops.
Okay. Well, as I don't know if Jean-Michel saw the email that I sent out last night, but Jean-Michel doesn't post. He doesn't have to.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, there's a couple of things I don't have to because I piggyback on Troy's post. He's an influencer, so I don't have to work for it.
Right.
I don't
He
have to work for it.
cheats.
I get free publicity from Troy, right?
Yeah, that should
But
be there should be a monetary exchange there, but okay.
but it's been an interesting month so far. You know, things slow down obviously between Christmas and New Year. But people are excited again with the new year and getting back to work. I mean, you know, last week I wrote 3 proposals, 2 over the weekend, and I just finished 1 this morning. So people are getting back to work and you know, getting they know they need LinkedIn. They're interested in activating their online brand and online marketing. So that's you know, we're getting back to work. That's exciting to see.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah. I'm getting meeting after meeting, and I had one guy yesterday. He goes, "Yeah, can I start now?" I said, "No." I told him, I said, "Well, let me get you the recap, and if you feel like you want to do it, maybe we'll talk next week." You know, like I always know, don't take the money right away. Don't slow down. You know, so let me break it down for them so they can actually really think about it. Because at the end of the day, you want to work with clients that are gonna convert and do well, you know? And so I learned my lesson to go ahead and just take people's money, because then all of a sudden they don't make meetings or they don't follow a process and they're not converting, and it's everyone else's fault, you know? So I'm taking my own accountability to slow down, you know? And I had 2 good meetings today too. So
Good. All right.
it's not hard to convert as long as you're doing what you say you're doing, and you go out there with a giving mentality. I told both of them, I said, "Hey, if this is if this is not going to fit for you, it's okay. Just tell me, you know, you can't do it. If you have any questions, just ask." One guy, I connected him with one of my clients, and I said, he goes, "Well, why did you do that?" I said, because I'm a giver. I said, "Well, that's partially true." I said, what's going to happen is you're going to connect with them and you're going to see value in that. And you say, "I need this thing from Troy anyway. I need Troy to help me out with this." There's not going to be very many other people, you know, that's given him stuff already, you know, and get that trust factor in there. And, you know, I told him, I said, honestly, if you really need this, you'll pay for it. And then we'll have this conversation next week and I'll get your credit card. I said, if not, it's okay.
Look at you being all laid back.
Oh yeah, I got kind of a headache right now, so it's a facade, you know. But it's all right. I got a cookie here, so I'm gonna eat that chocolate chip cookie in a minute. So
well, everybody's business is picking up. We're really busy, and since we started, at least I started offering a coaching program. I'm 5 for 5 now. I do a little bit of. I don't like doing proposals. You guys do proposals. I'll have a rant about proposals.
I only do proposals if I only do proposals if I know it's a yes. And this is how I do it. The consultation for a month, get them prepped from top to bottom in targeting and day-to-day process and all that stuff. That's an invoice. I just boop, boop, send an invoice. You're gonna pay it or not. Now, once they have the monthly, that's a contract, but they've already mentally agreed to the contract later on.
Yeah.
You know, so it's.
Yeah, I do agreements. A couple of times. One of the worst experiences I had was as a company in Grand Rapids. It doesn't matter whether they listen to the presentation or not. I don't mind.
Sure. Okay.
So it was a presentation that I had to do. Not a presentation. It was a proposal they asked for, and they knew it was going to be expensive. It was about $4,800 to do, and they ghosted me. But it took me 4 hours to put that thing together. And I said, I will never, ever, ever do that again. I will send you an agreement. We'll have already agreed. We're going to work together. And then you're signing it and sending the money. But I'm not going to spend half a day putting together a proposal and I don't get it.
It's $4,500.
That's crazy.
It's not like, you know, like when I had my IT business, I had projects that were over $1 million, right? Of course, it didn't start out that way, and you do have to have agreements and stuff like that. That's a different animal. If you have the potential of making, 50,000 or $1 million, then yeah, that's your livelihood to kind of create some of those proposals. But anything under $5,000, it's kind of.
And this is not a small company. These guys had, I don't know, 27 employees. They're just not they're doing a few $1 million a year. This is seat cushion money. We're not talking about a lot of money.
Yeah.
So anyhow, it is what it is. People go through that. Like I said, it's going to be one of the topics of my live stream, a bit of a rant and how to get around not doing proposals when a client, especially a larger client, asks for one. I've been able to avoid them in the last two. I picked up a law firm. They've got 23 offices.
Yeah.
And I did a mini proposal, but it was a done deal. That was a formality.
There we go.
There's Matt.
We're stalling. We're stalling for Matt.
We're waiting for
Hey
you,
guys.
man.
How are you doing?
Welcome to the party.
Can
Good
you
to
hear
see
me
you.
all right?
Oh, hey, Matt. Wow. Are you like 8 foot tall? You look like you're almost at the top
Very
of the
tall. He's
ceiling.
on hitting the ceiling. You're a tall guy.
Yeah,
huh?
no, I'm 6'2". I'm 6'2", but the ceiling here is a little bit low.
Oh, okay.
And you're in the country. What
Actually,
country are you in?
7 foot. He's here in the States right now.
No, he's not.
Let
Yeah,
me
he
see
is.
if I can make this a little bit
Aren't you?
better.
Well, let's ask. He'll
He's
tell
somewhere in
us.
South America.
There we are. Perfect.
So where are you located right now?
I'm in Guatemala.
Oh, you were right. You're right.
They
So
got
I
shorter
propose-
houses over there. That's what it
Okay,
is. Shorter
that's it.
ceilings and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Matt's
Matt,
a giant. I think I want to go with Matt as a giant.
I'm a small guy anyeanyway, so I'm not gonna impress anyone. If it wasn't for my hair, I'm 5'8" with the hair. So it's really 5'7", 6 3/4 or something like that. So did he just jump off? What happened to him?
When is our next event going to be? I need to.
Oh, I don't know. 1 month from now on a Wednesday at 2 p.m.
All right.
I have one screen now in this office. So.
I'm going to do this.
So as soon as he jumps back on, I'm gonna give him some instructions to let him know what's happening, and we'll continue. You know what? Let's go ahead and, what time is it now? Oh, we're still
We
early.
got 3 minutes.
Few minutes before the hour.
You guys remind me, say, hey, don't forget to make the edit that we have to make on the
What?
Event. Look. You're
You
not.
just asked for the date. You have the date, right? I don't know.
I don't have a day. You guys haven't given me a day.
I said 1 month from now.
All right.
Whatever that is on a Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern, sir.
The 16th or the 23rd?
I don't know. What do you feel like?
Oh, I have the 23rd here.
16th sounds good.
So if we do this challenge, if we actually do it, so we'll do
Oh,
the challenge
you're
and then
right,
we'll
you're
have
right.
like a week or
You're
two
so right,
after that.
23rd. Yeah, if we
Alright.
do this challenge. Okay.
Sorry.
All right, Matt, I'm gonna give you a little bit of instructions. I'll run my presentation and we'll have Q&A and all that stuff. And Ed and Jean-Michel will kind of be my directors to kind of slow me down and move me up. And we'll give you 5 to 10 minutes and you can run your own presentation.
Okay.
And I have, it'll be 5 or 10 minutes, but I have a copy of your old presentation from Jean-Michel, but I just figured you want to control your own. So
Yeah, I made something a little bit smaller because the one that we had is too long.
Big.
So I just adapted it a little bit.
all right, awesome. And we're going to talk about posting.
Perfect.
Thank you very much, and thank you for jumping on last minute. You're the perfect person to kind of go through this here.
Yeah, no worries. It's the good thing is that it's actually what I talk about every day. So it doesn't matter if it was last minute. It's all good.
Yeah.
Okay, so who's running the slides?
Jean-Michel is gonna. I'll run the slide.
Okay.
Yeah. So-
I'll be your typist and I will control the chat and share links for you.
Yeah, so we
You
got
just get to
45
have
people
fun.
coming up. I want to know where everyone's at. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. Type in where you're from. Let's see how many we got. We got Boston in the house.
Kalamazoo,
Look at that.
Michigan.
Chicago. I was there for a year. Montreal, Phoenix. It was a lot. Austin. love
Bangalore,
Austin. Okay, California.
India. We have very international group here.
Port
England,
Orange,
welcome,
Florida. I didn't
Michelle.
even. Where's Port Orange?
Belgium.
Florida? I never heard of
All
that.
right.
So from the whole country of India, England, Manchester, UK, Belgium,
And then-
Toronto. Wow.
All right. People will start pouring in here in a second.
About 20% are
because-
from the UK. The great state of Denver. I'm so glad it's not the
Awesome.
small state of Denver.
Well, welcome everybody.
York.
It's been
York.
all had a wonderful holiday season, and I know we've seen everybody is getting eager to activate their superpower in 2022, getting back to business. So we appreciate you all joining us today.
Yeah, 2021 was preparation. 2022 is execution. That's what's happening. And today we're talking about posting, which is about a third of my business. I'm gonna tell you about, for every 500 views, I tend to book a meeting. And that's just a general kind of statement. It depends on your business and all that. But the more interaction, personalized interaction you can do, the more conversions. And if business is not your conversion, it could be communication, it could be networking, and all those great things there. I noticed that I'll go to other people's posts and I'll actually get interaction in those as well. So all this stuff is about personalized interaction. Although the post may go out to a large audience, having that personal interaction, that human interaction, is what converts. It converts on direct messages, converts on posts, and converts in real life. It's the old-fashioned dating scenario. And I got off the meeting and I said this to a potential client. I kind of say it on all the meetings. Before, I was what you call a terrible dater. Like, I could not date worth saving my life, right? I'm a nerd, I'm very direct. I build, applications and all that stuff. I'm an introvert, I'm quite quirky, right? And a lot of times I know the answer before the question, which is not normal. Normal people don't work in that fashion. And it would be like, so I was a terrible dater. It's almost like finding this person, love of your life, and you're meeting this person and saying, I find you so attractive, I want to have 2 babies with you, that doesn't work out well. You probably get slapped in the face,
Terrible pickup line.
Yeah.
Even I know that.
Terrible. And so you want to have this old-fashioned dating attitude, like traditional dating. How do I create stuff that's authentic as a human, How do I communicate enough with that individual? How do I bring them in? So your posts are usually designed to bring people in, versus the direct messaging campaigns are kind of opposite. You kind of want two-way traffic there. And some people like Jean-Michel just uses me to get all his post action, and then he uses a combination actually of SEO optimized profile, so people will find him as well. And then he has probably a direct message or email campaign or some kind of output to kind of reach out to individuals to kind of build relationships. Today, we're going to concentrate on posting alone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to go ahead and get started with this right here. And where the heck did my, there you go. And I will allow Ed to take over. Let me know when you see the screen, Ed, and it shows properly for you.
Showed it just a second ago. Now it's gone.
There you
There
go.
we go. There we go. All right, our sponsors. And we really appreciate our sponsors. They help us to put the show on. They help us to ensure that we have enough people in the seats every week. They support us in many, many different ways, and we would like you to reach out to them. They can probably help you in ways that you are not aware of just yet. We have Jennifer Glass. I'm going to just call everybody by their first name because their names get progressively more difficult to pronounce as I go through the list. Jennifer is a business growth strategist. She is going to be talking, I believe, in a couple of months. And she is certainly someone to reach out to if you are a local business. I think even a small business. She is somebody that you may want to reach out to. We have
Yeah,
Karan.
she is very good. Jennifer's very good about connecting the dots where you didn't think there was a solution. Often she can say, hey, did you try to do it like this? You know, and a lot of times the small businesses need that.
Indeed they do. We have Karan. Karan is he has a product out. In fact, it's on AppSumo right now. You can get it for a lifetime deal, which is a what is that? He does
It's right there. It's a
curation,
app.
his curation.
Curator,
There you
yeah.
go. It's
Mhm.
right there.
Yeah,
I
it's
should
right
read
there,
that.
buddy.
Just read it right under his name. Thank you. If it was a snake, it would have bit me. And we've known about that app for quite a while. And right now you can get it on AppSumo. I believe it's still on AppSumo as a one-time deal. Not yet, man. We've got 3 more sponsors to get through. We have Pad, and Pad introduced us to Prabha, which was very nice. And that Pad has been a supporter of us from the beginning. We need to have him on at some point as a guest presenter. And then we have James. Is James going to be on? He has a big podcast. Is he going to be on the show sometime?
Well, I know I'm going to be on his podcast.
Are you going to be on
So,
his podcast?
yeah, I'm going to be on his podcast,
Okay.
and we're going to go from there.
So it's a thank you for you being a guest on his podcast. That's what we have here. Okay, James. Well, thank you for getting Troy on your podcast. Maybe you can have me on your podcast too.
Yeah, and he's also a trainer
Sometime,
too,
James.
so he deals with a lot of
I got to
lot of
meet
businesses
James.
as well.
And Prabha has I'm going to reach out to Prabha probably today. He has a website for tech people that is similar to Indeed. It's the Indeed for the tech industry. So if you're a tech person and you are in a job market or looking to change careers, you probably want to get on his site and you find your next position. All right.
Yeah, let me mention something about Prabha. He has 1 million subscribers to that platform, and they're all targeting about 150K or above. So this is a kind of a premier platform versus some of these others for the tech industry.
It is. He's got a really great TED Talk. If you go on YouTube, you can hear his TED Talk. He's got an interview that he did also about his company. And that was from over 10 years ago. This is not some startup. He's had this company for quite a while and been doing very well with it. Next slide, please. We have questions. Jean-Michel, you see the questions? 83 people? No? Troy, next slide. Yes, no?
You don't see we're in the speaker
Oh,
slide now.
this is it. You moved it. There we go.
Yes,
All right.
sir.
Thank you. We've got
Sorry.
Troy Hippolito, who will be doing the majority of the speaking today. If it's assuming that I'm done it in a timely manner. He's a LinkedIn expert. You have me at Fortune Mr. Deliverability, and I have a new coaching program it came out a couple of weeks ago called LinkedIn Plus Email Equals Growth. It was a working title, but people seem to like it. So I'm going to keep
It's simple. I like it.
It's simple. So it's the ability to use LinkedIn and leveraging LinkedIn and email, which a lot of people don't do for growth. And I've been using that process for a while, and now I've got coaching clients showing them how to do the same thing. We have Jean-Michel, the LinkedIn rocket scientist, and he and Troy kind of compete. They do the same things, but differently as far as helping people with LinkedIn's exclusively.
Yeah.
And they have some special secret sauce that you guys should know about. Reach out to either one of those two if you're looking to do more on LinkedIn. And then we have the great Matt from Beep to Be, Beep Together. And he does provide secret sauce for both myself and Troy to help our posts get a lot more traction. He's going to tell you about that. Matt is a great guy. I've worked with him on a couple of different projects. I like him a lot, and he's very tall. He's like he's 7'8".
7'8".
Right.
All right. Well, I'll take over from here. Thank you very much, Ed. I appreciate it. I wish I had your voice. It's the Troy Show, and a little bit about me. I'm the not so boring LinkedIn guy. We had a little poll to saying which kind of title I should have. My previous title was the number one Swissipino game designer in the world. Right? We found out that's a better pickup line than something that would work on LinkedIn. So they just didn't get it. So now I'm still the not so boring LinkedIn guy. So I'm the owner of the agency. A little bit about me. I was a CAD draftsman. I probably served in the U.S. Army. I was a programmer, UI, UX guy. We worked in Coca-Cola, Xbox Mobile, Harry Potter, some of the movie releases. Really fun stuff. Gamification for a company called ISO Interactive, and I loved it. It worked really, really well until it didn't. And it all crashed. And so I had to figure out why. And a lot of the companies here in Atlanta, they don't use agencies anymore, depending on where you're at. It's not like in New York or LA where they depend on agencies. They have a different model. A lot of companies are very corporate, and so they bring people inside. And so these agencies were fighting among each other. I had to figure a way to resolve that problem. I had to pay the lights. I had to figure out, well, I'm very good at what I'm doing, but I can't get any work because all these agencies are fighting each other. So I bumped into a buddy of mine in New Jersey. He's a bona fide sales guy. And I also ran into another gentleman that has similar business, and he was doing really well. And I said, what are you guys doing? They both said LinkedIn. They said, LinkedIn is where it's at. I said, well, how are you using LinkedIn? I thought it was resumes and all this other stuff. They explained to me as relationship building. And then I realized I was a terrible dater, that little story I told you before. And so I had to figure out the formula in order to date properly on LinkedIn. Ever since then, I said, I think I can help other people do that. So throughout the years, I helped enough people, and then we eventually created the Troy Agency. So that's my story, and hope you like it. Now, I will move on. So we're talking about today LinkedIn posts within your ecosystem. How can you create posts, why you're creating posts, how you can convert posts within the realm of what you can control. Now everyone's going to be a rock star, but you can slowly build more popularity, especially if you bring your personality into it and just to be authentic. And this is just a quick overview of possibilities. So here we have LinkedIn, personal branding, email or video mail, consulting, and all that stuff, right? Consultation. This part right here is video, images, post. That's really the meat of what we're talking about. This entire pitch is really talking about these other parts that can go work in and work out of it. And if you create content, you can definitely use it for your other platforms, IG, Facebook, YouTube. I primarily use it on LinkedIn. And this is an example of doing like 10 campaigns with one account. I don't want to get too much into it, but I'll go ahead and provide everyone with the slides and stuff. You can read this a little bit later. But it shows on what posting has to do within your entire ecosystem of LinkedIn work or interaction, two-way interaction that you're doing. And if anyone has questions, please feel free to put in the chat, and Jean-Michel, let me know there's a question there. And I'll just move on to the next. This is a close-up view of some of the items we just talked about. If you have direct message campaigns, if you roll over to email, if you're using some of your posting content within LinkedIn or other platforms and things like that. And this is an example of a decision tree for some of your email drip sequences. Now on LinkedIn, just to mention, I don't do sequences on LinkedIn. I do one-off messages. I may have one follow-up, and that's about it, because the messages have to be really done. They have to be done well, and they have to be authentic. It's a little bit different than how people use email. Let's see here. Now, as far as the essentials here on post, we're going to talk about what's what and then why. So everyone likes. Oh, did I do that?
One thing I want to mention just quickly, my mic was off. It's a really important point about messaging on LinkedIn versus email. It really does have to be different. It's the reason, and you had mentioned this before, if you're messaging someone on LinkedIn and maybe you're using some software to do it, and the person is not responding, they just see a stack of messages from you. And eventually it looks a lot like their canned messages. It doesn't take long for it to look like their canned messages. And I agree with you, Troy. I don't like doing automated messages to people. They should be authentic. You should take the time to create the message personally. You can switch over to email where you can use more, not canned messages, but automated messages.
Yeah, it's a different platform. If you have a lot of messages that are stacked, it just looks like spam.
It
So
does.
what worked 6 months ago or 8 months ago, when people did that a lot, it doesn't work now. And LinkedIn purposely designed it that way. You know, they want people to know that, hey, you're spamming people. They want people to know that, and it kind of pushes people away from bad habits, allows them to have better habits. All right, so right here, we're talking about the different kind of post. So you figure out like, hey, I gotta post this stuff. You know, I'm gonna post it 3 to 5 times a week, and then create some content. And so I wanted to talk about the differences between the types of posts and some of the engagements between them. So right here, we have just an image of once you create a post, you have these options and stuff. And I'll go through quite a few of them. And some of them you know already. You can add a photo, you know, upload a photo and then add some content. You can add a document. You can share that you're hiring. You can create a poll. You can add a video. You can celebrate an occasion. You can find an expert. You can offer help, you know, and then, an occasion, yeah, as well. So I want to ask the crowd here, what do you think gets the most engagement? If you go ahead in the chat, out of these, tell me which ones you guys think gets the most engagement. I'm just making sure that you guys are listening.
I know what gets the most
Document,
engagement
polls,
for me.
polls, video, photos, video, polls, video. Okay, so
Well, I have to talk to somebody. These people are getting the most engagement with video.
well, if you got a lot of numbers behind you, then it doesn't really make as much, doesn't really impact you as much. So the truth is polls, about 25% of the people say polls. Polls have the most engagement, and polls can be used in a number of different ways. They can be used as a series, and Ed brought this up on one of the other shows that he was creating a poll to identify an answer or to figure out who was interested in a particular subject. And then once he was done with that poll, he could target those individuals for even a secondary poll to get down to the people that were super interested or the buyers or whatever your initiative was. So the reason polls are the most engaging, and I don't suggest you do polls every day. I do one poll every 2 weeks, right? Because people will get sick of it after a while. But if you create a poll, one of the things to do is make sure that all the answers are correct. That's one of the key things. Make sure all the answers are correct. Another thing too is a reason why polls are so popular. It allows people to easily engage. So it's written content as well as thought process type of options. And then there's even another option to share something in the comments. So they get what we call a longer linger time. And linger time is just a fancy way of saying how long are they staying on that post. You know, you would think video would be the highest, but video is very easy to create. And a lot of people don't stay on a video very long because it's very common. But videos are great. I'm not saying any of these things aren't great, including a photo. You want to use all these, when appropriate. So I would say polls are number one. Number two and number three, they swap back and forth, is celebrate an occasion. Believe it or not, that gets a lot of interaction because it's a celebration and people are happy to see that you're doing well. And the other one is a document. A document is when they say document, they're talking about a PDF. And I'm not talking about those detailed PDFs and stuff. I'm talking about design PDFs that are easy to read. They're usually between 3 and 8 slides long, you know, and I do a lot of those and I get a lot of engagement. So it allows me to have a thought process and you can carry that story along. So those are the 3 top ones that kind of create the most engagement there. Again, if anyone has any questions, feel free. Oh, Ed, I'm not a fan of polls that ask Facebook style questions. Oh yeah, people will catch on to clickbait. You want to avoid some of those things. Oh, PowerPoint works as well as PDFs? Alan, I did not know that. I'm gonna give that a shot. I thought it was PDFs only. So you can upload a PowerPoint presentation? Awesome. I'm gonna try that. Now, the other thing is that I wanted to provide a few samples of LinkedIn posts, you know, and I don't get a ton of engagement. I get a few thousand views. I had one that had 100,000 views and stuff like that. But basically, I'm happy with 1,000 to 3,000 views because I can't handle but so many meetings and so much business. So you got to think that I get business from my post. I got business from my direct message campaigns. I have 3 or 4 campaigns that go out, and then I interact with people on that as well. I have incoming traffic because my profile is very well optimized. I got people that are recommending me. So I don't want a huge volume. I can only take on 2 new clients a month. You know, beyond that, I won't be able to serve them properly. You know, because a lot of stuff we do is very specialized. But here are a couple examples. This picture right here is just a photo, but it was Happy Veterans Day. So this is an event. This is my son when he was very little. I was in the Army, and fortunately he's wearing a Marines hat, but I didn't have the heart to tell him that where'd you get that hat, son? You know, but you know, just let it go and stuff like that. And Happy Veterans Day and stuff, you know. So events and things like that, when you're thinking about posts, really do well. This right here was a celebration. And it did pretty well. I ended up getting about 4,000 or 5,000 views there. And it's a simple one-shot picture. It allows you to do the little cutoff on the image and allows you to tag people right in the post, you know. And that did pretty well too. And whenever you can always have celebrations. You finish a project, you know, you're getting ready for this event. You know, you're, you know, whether you did this or that, you know, I'm writing on my book. So once I finish my book, that's going to be a celebration. It's called the LinkedIn Red Book. So I'm about 6 months away from that. The other is the document right here. This did really well. And I broke down a few slides and I kind of presented. Sometimes I do little teasers and things like that, you know. And this one here is another document that did well. And this is my day-to-day process. And creating a day-to-day process on LinkedIn to reduce your time is super important. One thing I do sometimes, go ahead and push the wrong button there. I reserve Mondays a lot of times for what I call Keep It Real Monday, right? But Fridays or their weekends, I do things that are based on family, but I tie it into business because I want to attract like-minded people. So I put something along business, had a long and productive week. You deserve a little more joy. So happy Friday, right? So this is pretty interesting. And I grabbed this video and you have this little cute girl dancing and it's talking about enjoying your weekend. And so you get the idea. A lot of times posting content, you want to be human. And someone says, this has nothing to do with business. Well, it does. It talked about your work week and it says, hey, Troy is a family guy. Well, I want to attract other family people that have the same values, you know? And so you have to think subliminally, what is appropriate to do? You may not think that's appropriate, but I get engagement with that. Now, one thing I don't do put a bunch of puppies up there, and I don't do that stuff all the time. I always keep it within my realm of activity and engagement. So that's one thing that you kind of want to think about when you're posting stuff there. Ooh. Oh, I'm pushing all the wrong buttons here. I can't. Oh, the problem is I can't see it. How do I gotta reduce it and then increase it back.
I have a question from Simon. He was wondering, how do you get videos like that? Is it yours, or how do you source that video?
Yeah, sometimes they're mine, and sometimes I can get them from other channels and stuff like that. If I see something I really like it, I'll grab it and then I'll give them credit for it. That one video had no credit associated with it, so I couldn't do it. So I tend to want to, hey, I got this from so and so. This is the original post and things like that, you know. But most of the time I created I didn't create that one, of course. Oh, I'm pushing all the wrong buttons here. There you go.
How are we doing for time? I wonder, we've got Matt biting at the bit to share his wonderful secret sauce with us. But
where are we at with time? I'm gonna say here. Oh, okay. I got about 10 minutes to go through this.
Yeah, you do.
Now, LinkedIn post, what do I post and why am I posting it? This link right here, Jean-Michel, if you want to add to it, is my best practices. There's 7 best practices on posts. It shows about equipment, it shows about the timing, it gives you ideas on it, and there's a bunch of different mini posts within that article. So what I do is I kind of create a series of posts and I generate an article about it. Feel free to take a look at that, and that's another free resource on it, and give you a lot of details beyond what we're talking about here. Now, one of the most difficult things is finding ideas. Like, I don't know what to post, there's so much work to do, you know? There's really 4 main sections. Number 1 is, what did I do to help my client? Or how did I solve a problem, you know, within my own business? Those are things that happen every day. If you're in business, you can say, you know, I did this, and I can talk about it, you know? It doesn't always have to be this specific client. You can say how you resolve this, and it creates a story. Story-driven things are very, very enticing, you know? We all love stories. A portion of it is, if you're on a show, like I get pulled on people's podcasts, I can take that video and I can post it, excuse me, puberty. I can post it, or I can chop it up into smaller bits, and you can create, you know, more of an extended model. Celebrations, we just talked about, what you're thankful, you know, personal, family friendly posts as well. You saw that one I put on Friday, you know. And the 4th section is, you know, taking a larger topic and breaking it down into a series. Kind of like the link that I just gave you, or Jean-Michel just posted on there. I may have a series of it. And Jean-Michel, you remember when I sort of tricked you to edit my own profile, right? And you ended up having 7 videos. You know, and I think you got some clients out of that. You know?
I did, so that's what I was telling everybody earlier. I don't need to post because I just piggyback on an influencer like you. So I don't need to work. I let you do all the work for me.
Well, you did the audit, and that audit chopped up in 7 videos, and that brought you clients and stuff like that, which reduced some of my costs when I was dealing with you, which is a win-win scenario and stuff like that, you know?
I've always found that case studies work really well. I've gotten plenty of clients off of that, and that's kind of a takeoff of case study.
Yeah, that's definitely sure. Yeah. Whenever you have a happy client, do 2 things. Get on a Zoom, do a quick video, whether it's 30 seconds or a minute long, and then also send them a, what do they call it on LinkedIn for a request? Not a case study. Jean-Michel, testimonial or review. Testimonial on your LinkedIn profile. So kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I actually have a document that has like 35 whatever people on there. Now, the post with a purpose. Don't post because you feel like you're posting. Figure out why you're doing it, you know, kind of live it, you know. So most of the time you got to figure out, why am I posting? Am I posting just to be boring, or just to give instructional stuff, or whatever? You know, you have to post. It's really hard at first, but again, figure out a pattern, you know, Monday to Friday, saying my Mondays are usually like this. My Fridays are usually towards that. In the middle, we talk about clients or maybe how to do certain things, instructional stuff, you know? So I have a pattern of why I post stuff. Now, in your post, you want to create a call to action. You don't want to create a post and they read it, great. You want to ask questions within the post to kind of drive that question for interaction. And by doing that, you're kind of following, your call to action, so they interact. Once they interact, your post goes much more viral, and you get people that are truly interested in what you're talking about. And those are the people that you want to engage with. And then you want to invoke usually something that's positive or thought-provoking. You know, there's certain things I stay away from in general. This is my rule. I tend to stay away from, I believe in God, but I don't talk about religion all the time, you know? So I stay away from some of the deeper religion conversations, and as well as the politics and stuff like that. But that's just me. I think that I want to be positive and I want to be thought-provoking, you know? Let's see here. Now, another problem is you say, and this is, Ed has brought this up to me before he was working with Matt. He said that I'm posting, I'm not getting any freaking engagement, you know, and I'm putting this other stuff in that. And some of the stuff is maybe not call to action, it's not hitting the right audience, it's not, you know, expanding, you're not having get enough engagement, and and that sort of thing. So there's four main things to increase your reach, you know, and there's a lot more. These are just four. You can mention selected people in your post to help engage. Now, 25% of them have to reply. If not, it'll work against you. But you can add a mention to those individuals. So you want to have a conversation prior. If I do a post, is it okay for you to kind of mention, to kind of reply on that? So you might have 100 people or 25 people or 20 people, a pool of people that have already agreed, and only use a few of them, you know, depending on the type of post. What you don't want to do is continually adding a mention to the same people. That's very annoying, you know. So you got to keep it moving. You got to keep people engaged and that sort of thing, and you don't want to be forced. You know, you can also direct message a number of loyal followers. So both of those kind of work together. The third are, you know, polls, documents, celebrations. They get more exposure, as mentioned, you know, and they have support groups. Matt is a support group. There could be LinkedIn groups. It could be Facebook groups that talk about LinkedIn. It could be Slack channels. It could be private groups that you jump on Zooms and things like that. They have a community, different communities and stuff like that. And Matt will be talking about his pretty shortly, one way of doing that. So I actually have a number of groups, and I let people know that's happening. Now, people say, well, I don't have all this fancy equipment. You know, I can't do all this stuff, you know. Well, it doesn't take a lot, you know. I got an iPhone, and mine's an iPhone 10. What is that, like up to 12 or 13 now? I don't know
13.
what it is. What?
13. I love
up to
their new
13.
commercials. Yeah.
I got an iPhone 10 from 2-3 years ago. Works great, right? And it allows you to record videos. It allows you to cut videos out. You can post directly from your phone to a post. You can even store stuff, and we'll talk about that later. You know, a simple laptop. You can use tools like Dub. Dub is an interesting tool. Jean-Michel, if you want to give the link to Canva and Dub, the link that's provided there, that'd be great. Loom is also another way to doing it. Dub is great because it can allow you to do a trackable video, and also allows you to do video sequencing, which is really, really great, and it adds engagement. So like how email, you have an email after another, you can do something similar, but with video, you know, and then have a funnel of sorts. If you have a decent camera, you can get it from Amazon or Walmart. I'm talking about the cam on your computer. Now, I have a 2012 computer, it's old, but I have a $60 camcorder, a computer cam from Walmart. This mic right here is from Walmart, you know, and my little ring light that holds my phone, it's over there, It was $5, so it doesn't cost a lot of money. It's a total of like, I think, $800 for everything. Now, Canva is very interesting because you can create content. Canva is like a mini, I want to say mini Photoshop / Illustrator with templates in it. So you can create PDFs quite quickly. I created a gorgeous looking PDF for my LinkedIn accelerator program, and it was maybe 8 slides or whatever. I did it in 3 hours. So you have to think, if I had to do that same amount of work not using Canva, and I had a client, it would took me about 25, 30 hours to do, and depending on approvals and all that, One thing is this video editing softwares. Well, besides your phone, you can just do a Google search on Vidnami replacements. Vidnami was a very popular tool that was purchased by GoDaddy, and they're integrated in some of their stuff right now. But there's a lot of online tools that are free or almost free or subscription based that you can do a lot of edits with. So I don't want to spend, I'm kind of running out of time right here. And this is my equipment. I got this laptop for $250, and I put $250 into it to make it like a $500 laptop. $60, a microphone, which is $60, a light, which is $60, and then these were used equipment, that I got online. So there's no excuse not to have the equipment. It's not a ton of money, to do. It just take care of the equipment you have and start where you can. When I'm balling at the end of the year, I'll buy new equipment, of course, But right now, with the year starting and everything, do I necessarily have to spend money on a lot of stuff? No, you don't.
I like your tripod stand that you have there, Troy.
You like that?
Yeah.
The tripod.
Very sophisticated. Over there.
That's actually just holds the mic.
Over on the right by the.
Oh, I have the video over. I didn't see it. Oh yeah, that is. I think that cost me $10, and it comes with a remote.
A book.
What?
The stack of books you have the tripod on.
Yeah. Well, I had to get it higher because you don't want the video going up your nose. You want it to kind of hear, Even this one, since I'm at a WeWorks, it's a little low, so I'm kind of like that. You like that? Had a little remote on it too. I can take videos and all that stuff, Gary V model. He does not need any extra extra introductions or help or anything, but you can have one longer video from having a show like this show, or even if you're on other people's podcasts, because a lot of the podcasts have video recording it, or you're running an interview. It could be anything. You could chop that up into smaller bits, have micro videos, stills, animated GIFs, you name it, right? Another thing too is from the information, you can create articles. For my example, I create LinkedIn articles and newsletters. They have LinkedIn newsletters as well. They're exactly the same, except newsletters you can subscribe to. You can add to your blogs and all that. And this is a little shot of my book I'm writing, the LinkedIn Red Book. It's going to be a Bible, So the Gary V model is about, he wants to create 86 bits of content from one video, which, to be honest with you, is insane. No one's going to do that, So it's a little exaggeration, but you get the idea. With one video, you can easily get 5, 10, 15 bits of content out there. Now, one last thing before I give this to Mathis, your mobile app. Now there's 58% of the beginning of last year, so it's really probably closer to maybe 62% of the people use the LinkedIn mobile app. 62% of individuals. So the mobile app is used quite often. So you can post stuff. So on LinkedIn, you have a couple of features. You have the ability to have multiple pictures, so you can stack them. So you can have a kind of a carousel of pictures in there when you're posting. When you're posting, you can save the post. So you can push a button and hit it whenever you want. You can spontaneously create video on the fly with your mobile device, and the cameras on these things are awesome. You can store images and photos to do what you want with it, and you can engage on other people's posts quite quickly. The other cool advantage is your phone is 4 feet away from you at the most. 99% of the people will have a phone with them. So use it, use it. Now I have a little reference there, and I guess you can copy and paste that, but that's just where I got the stats from. The stats are, I made up the last one. No, sorry. I just figured 99% of the people have a phone next to them, so you won't be able to find it anywhere. I kind of made that one up. All right. So our next session will have a this just changed. Jennifer will not be on the next episode, but she may be on the episode after, and then we'll include Corey. Corey is an awesome guy. You might want to connect with him or follow him. He has, I don't know, a gazillion followers, you know, and he creates LinkedIn influencers. All right. So right now, what I'm going to do is, Matt, I'm going to have you take over.
Before Matt starts, I want to make sure that we put what he's going to say in context. And the reason why I asked Matt to come on is because in a couple of weeks, we're going to be doing a LinkedIn posting challenge. It'll be a 5-day challenge. It'll be designed pretty much to get you guys posting on a regular basis, but getting engagement for your posts, getting clients out of your posts, and getting you in the habit of posting so that you can create a predictable stream of predictable and consistent stream of new business. And the secret sauce that allows me specifically to consistently get 1,000 to 5,000 people reach on all my posts. And every one of my posts gets at least 1,000 people reach, and 1,000 to 5,000. Sometimes it's well over that. Sometimes it's in the 7,000 to 10,000 range. I've had a recent post that had a reach of over 100,000. And you have a post with over 100,000 reach and 200-300 comments or likes. There's a lot of people that you can go in there and cherry pick and turn those likes, comments, or even votes into clients. And the secret sauce behind that is what Matt is going to be sharing with us.
Yeah, I'll add to that. Hopefully, like my animated GIF. I love The Office because this guy is so quirky, right? And so what Ed is doing, he's explaining it like a 5-year-old, which is great, you know. So this 5-day challenge, what we're going to do, if we get enough people interested, we're doing it for free. You know, typically we charge for it, but in order to be part of the group, there is a membership you have to go to use to use the community. So we're not making anything off of this. We want to do this for the community. If you get more engaging, you get more traction, you drive more business, you'll end up coming back to us for other business items. And we're trying to kind of paying it forward, you know? And so, Matt, if you would want to take over and explain a little bit about what you're doing and how it works, you get people excited about actually engaging and converting, and then maybe people will be interested in the 5-day challenge.
Perfect. Yeah. Thank you, guys. First of all, thank you so much for having me here on the show. Excited to share a little bit about what we do here at Beep2B. So just to give a little bit of context, I am the marketing manager at the Beep2B. Beep2B is a software company, like 100% software company. But we focus on developing software to be used as marketing tools on LinkedIn, right? That's our thing. And a part of the services and products that we develop, we have developed one that's specifically related to content. So we know content is not the easiest thing to do. It requires, you know, getting yourself out there, being consistent, learning all these different things. Troy, you gave a very good 1-hour lesson on content, but in reality is that you also have to execute it day in and day out, right? And that's kind of like the thing where we are trying to improve that effort for everyone to make it a little bit more easy and more efficient, which is in the end what everyone wants, right? So let me go ahead and share my slide deck that I have prepared because I think you're gonna find this interesting. Can you guys see my screen? Can you let me know, please? All good? Perfect. Okay, so how do you get your content seen on LinkedIn? LinkedIn is an amazing platform. It's not the newest platform, but it's amazing in the sense that it still has high organic reach compared to other platforms like Facebook, Instagram, other older platforms where it's harder to get people's attention. LinkedIn, it's still possible to get that organic reach, which simply means, in other words, you don't actually have to pay for people to see your content, right? So whoops, here it is. So considering that, you also have to know that it's not just about posting and then LinkedIn does the rest of the work. There are some things that you need to take into account, because LinkedIn, if you go to your mobile device and you access the app, or if you go to the desktop, the first thing that you will see is the LinkedIn feed, right? And the feed basically is just one post after the other. And then if you think about how that works, you understand that LinkedIn has to have some sort of decision-making process where they decide which content they are going to show to whom, right? They have to have it because they cannot show all of the content to everyone. There is not enough feed to show the content. And the biggest reason why they do that is because they want people to find content on their feed that each user finds interesting. So for example, if I'm interested in marketing and LinkedIn learns that, so LinkedIn is going to try to adjust all of the content that it shows to me that has to do with marketing. If Troy is interested in sales, then LinkedIn is going to adjust that content so it has to do with sales, so that when he enters LinkedIn, he finds content that's relevant for him, right? So in short, LinkedIn has an algorithm that decides what content to show. The question becomes, how do they decide that? And why is that an important question? Because when you understand how the algorithm works, then you understand what you can do with your own content so that it becomes more appealing to your audience, right? And I started by saying that here at Beep2B, we focus on trying to help everyone get more efficient and their lives easier. So this comes back to this question. If you know how the algorithm works, you can actually be more efficient with your content, because you create content that gets seen by more people instead of creating content that only gets a certain number of views, but it's too low for you, right? So now, how do they decide it? There's plenty of different factors. Some of them have to do directly with the quality of your content. If the quality of your content is very poor, it's going to get poor results. That's just like that's how it works. And there's other considerations, the time of day that you post, and there's all sorts of things. But something, and it's probably one of the most important ones, is the engagement that your content gets. So what is engagement? Engagement literally means any action that someone takes on your content that tells LinkedIn that they are enjoying or in some way interacting with that single piece of content. So for example, leaving a like, or they call it reactions, right? Like you can leave a like or a heart or a smiley face or laughing face or something like that. All of that tells LinkedIn, okay, people are reacting to this content, so people are liking it. Let's show it to more people. Or another factor is if people leave a comment, if people share that piece of content with their own audience, if people stay for enough time on the post and not just scroll past the post, but actually stay on the post, reading everything, LinkedIn tracks all of that. And another one is when you see that someone wrote long text and you see this little option that says see more, and people click on it to actually read the rest of the copy, that all of that tells LinkedIn, okay, people are engaging with this content, so let's show it to even more people. And that's in a nutshell how engagement becomes a decisive factor in how LinkedIn boosts your content to different audiences. Now, what happens if you have zero engagement? So you post something and nobody leaves you a reaction, nobody leaves you a comment, nobody shares your content. What happens is that on average, this is not like set in stone, but on average, you will reach only 10% of your connections. So you have 1,000 connections on LinkedIn, only 100 people will see that single post. And that's going to happen not necessarily on the same day. It might take a few days, a week, but 10% of your connections are going to see that post that you created. So it becomes a little bit frustrating because you build the number of connections and then you are like, okay, I'm only reaching 10% of them. And so I have to have really high numbers to reach a really small number of people. Now let's look at the opposite. What happens if you actually get some engagement on your post? What happens is that you can expect 3 times, 5 times, 10 times, 20 times the number of views that you would otherwise get. So if people start leaving reactions, people start leaving comments, people start, engaging with your content in some sort of way, LinkedIn is going to boost the content. Now, that also does not mean that only you post like a video that has no subtitles and it has a poor quality of audio and the picture is very bad. So the quality of the post is very bad. That does not mean that if you get some engagement, it's still gonna make up for the poor quality of the post. You still have to create good quality content, but the idea is that when you get engagement, LinkedIn boosts your content. That's Troy was asking before, or I don't know, remember if Ed or Troy were asking before, what type of content performs best on LinkedIn? And that's precisely why polls perform so good, because polls are interactive. Like the idea of a poll is that people engage by clicking on one of the options that you're giving them. So that's why they are creating that much engagement and that much visibility on the platform. Now, what happens as well if you get higher visibility? If LinkedIn decides, okay, this post is doing really well because people are engaging with them, I'm going to show it to more people. What actually happens, and this is the most interesting part, it's not about just the number of views that you're getting, it's who is viewing your content. Because if you are talking about that only 10% of your network will see your content if you don't get any engagement, that means that only people that you are already connected with are going to see your content. But if you boost your visibility and if more and more and more people see your post, you start reaching people outside of your network. And it's very likely that the people that you already have in your LinkedIn network, especially if you don't have that many connections, it's very likely that you already worked or approached them in some sort of way. So they are either your clients or your friends, or not interested in what you have to offer. I'm kind of like generalizing here, but that's more or less what happens. Now, when you start reaching to other audiences outside of your connections, of your network, that's when the magic starts to happen, because then you reach people that had never heard of you before and that might be looking for the exact solution that you have to offer, your product, your service, whatever it is, right? So you probably know this. You have first-degree connections, second-degree connections, third-degree connections. So in a nutshell, the more visibility you get, the more second and third-degree connections will see your content and hopefully be interested enough to become your first-degree connections or to message you or to engage with you in some deeper way that hopefully makes them a client of yours. So that's overall what happens if you get higher visibility. So now the question that everyone wants to know, right? Like, how much engagement do you need to actually boost your content enough to get these results that I just mentioned? How many reactions, how many likes, how many engagements do you need? The answer is obvious. The more engagement you need, you get, the better, right? Like the more people engage on your content, the more LinkedIn will boost it and show it to more people. Now, but what's kind of like the minimum, what's kind of like the ideal number cost benefit where you can actually do something to trigger the LinkedIn algorithm and boost your content without expecting it to be hundreds or thousands of connections? this is the magic formula. So this is what everyone wants to know, and this is kind of like the secret. So what you should be aiming for is you should get 15 comments and 15 reactions, so likes, in less than 2 hours after that you posted that piece of content. So in other words, you post something at 10 a.m. and between 10 a.m. and noon, you want to have at least 15 comments and 15 reactions, because that's how we have found with testing and with the product that we offer. That's where we have found it's kind of like the secret spot to trigger your content, and that LinkedIn boosts it. And you've heard from Ed the results that he's getting, and that's the exact same results that our clients are getting when they post something using our service. They get that initial boost, and then they can actually kind of forget about that piece of content, because LinkedIn then starts to do the actual heavy lifting of promoting it to even more and more and more people, right?
If I may just jump in and say one thing, is that whenever my posts have hit the 15 and 15, it doesn't matter whether it's in the first hour, first 2 hours, first 90 minutes. As soon as I hit that number, that's when the post takes off. That's when the reach really accelerates. Like I could have a reach of 500 up to that point, and then within 30 minutes, that reaches a couple thousand, maybe 3,000 or 4,000. So what Matt's talking about, I've seen it myself over and over again with my own posts.
And to your point, that what that also means is that if you only get 1 or 2 or 3 likes, that's not enough. You have to get to that minimal number to boost it, right? So
I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt, Matt. Jean-Michel, if you can post that link again, if you guys are interested in participating, and it has nothing to do with us, but we'll go ahead and Jean-Michel, you can drop that link in there for Beep Together. They have a couple options there for you.
Sorry,
so they have regular posting parties and things like that. They're very helpful, and they're really affordable as well. Go ahead and continue, Matt. I'm sorry. You there?
Sorry, I kind of lost you for a second, but I'm back.
Okay, I was just blabbing, saying how good the service was, and I asked Jean-Michel to post a link on there so people can participate in your posting services and stuff like that.
Thank you. So yeah, I was just gonna say that our service is called Beep Together. We call it the engagement bot for owners, influencers, and executives. You probably already have heard of engagement bots, and that whole system where you post something and then you get other members to engage on your content. That's in a nutshell how it works. In our case, what we do is that you post something, you get 15 other members to leave a comment and to react on your post. And in return, you do the same with other 15 posts. And that builds that initial engagement in the first 2 hours that you need to get more visibility. And just, as I was saying, it increases the chances that you get noticed. And of course, the more you get noticed, the more likely it is that you get any business opportunities out of that content strategy that you have. Just real quick, what makes us different, because I know that engagement bots sometimes have kind of like a negative connotation. For us, it's all about the quality of the engagement bot. So with us, you will find high quality content. You will find high quality commenting, nothing like nice post or thanks for sharing. That really, it's not ideal, Well,
so another thing, Matt, your system are real humans. There's no bots.
Exactly.
There's no bots and things like that in it. So it's real engagement from real people, and the people that put a little money. I don't know how much this thing costs, but it's a very minimal amount per month to engage, just to cover the software cost on it. If they're engaging with those people, the people who actually put a little bit of money, they usually have really good content, and so it improves the quality of everything, including the depth of the conversations.
Exactly. That's exactly right. So that's what we try to do. And we actually are very strict about it. So if we have any member that's not, we have like a set of rules. And if someone is doing stuff that's they're not supposed to be doing, like leaving harmful comments or kind of like shaming someone or stuff like that. We kick them out of the platform. We police it basically. So the quality for us is very important. And Troy, since you were mentioning that, I just want to really quickly share. This is our website. I'll share the link as well. It's beeptogether.com, and this is our site. And
yeah, so what we're going to do is we have a link already prepared for it.
Okay.
If Jean-Michel wants to post it in there, it's more of an affiliate link so we can track.
Perfect.
And Jean-Michel will go ahead and post it, the exact link in the chat.
Okay, no problem. Let me then just go back here to this.
Yeah.
And then, what I wanted to end with this, guys, if you have any questions, more than happy to answer. But I just wanted to let you know, if you sign up through the affiliate link that Troy just mentioned, what we're going to offer as well is we have this resource created, which is a content creator kit. What it includes is a content calendar, so you can plan out all your content for the full year. It even gives you ideas on what to post. We also have swipe posts available. You literally just change a few things and you can copy and paste them. We have a guide that teaches you how to have the perfect profile. We have viral memes that you can use. Simply grab them and post them on your LinkedIn account. We also created an ebook, which is called LinkedIn Content Secrets. It's where Mike is our CEO. Mike wrote this book explaining more in length how the LinkedIn algorithm works, right? It's a little bit more comprehensive about in that specific area. And we also have a masterclass that covers the exact same topic. How does the LinkedIn algorithm works?
Oh, that's pretty exciting. I didn't know you made that deal, Ed. No one told me. The content calendar I had before, very
I'm a
powerful.
master negotiator, man. What are you talking about?
All right, well, I need to know these things. But I had the content calendar, and when people are trying to figure out ideas, that alone is gold right there. I don't know about the viral memes, but the content calendar, yeah. And the masterclass
with what we're going to be doing with the challenge and the things that we're going to be sharing, it's really a great deal. And if you're going to start off posting, if you combine what we're going to teach during the challenge, the 5-day challenge, and using Beep Together, you will find success. You should be picking up clients also. And awesome. For the price of, and it's really affordable. There's a $29 option. There's a $49 option. I'd recommend the $49 option. I don't know how much a client is worth to you, but if a client isn't worth $49, then you shouldn't do this. But if a client is worth at least $49, you should be all over it.
Yeah, tell us about the different options there.
Yeah, sure. So we have 3 different options. So we have the $29 a month, $49 or $99. The product is the exact same product on all 3 plans. The only difference is that with the $29 plan, you get to post 6 times using our service, 6 times per month. With the $49 plan, you get to post 12 times per month. And with the $99 plan, it's unlimited. So as many pods you want to join in the month, that's awesome. What you can do.
Is there a way that I can share my screen?
Yeah, sure. Let me stop this. There you are.
All right. So what I'm going to do is I'll just go to the desktop and I'll go to the link right there to show people. And that's the link that was in the chat.
And I'm on the $99 plan, and mainly because I post in bunches. Like I may go a couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks without posting, but then I'll go a week or 2 in a row where I'm posting 1, 2, 3, 7 times a week.
Okay. Yeah, what we'll do, because we're short on time, I'm going to have to drop off in about 3 minutes. I know that you're running it, Ed, so you can stay on a little bit longer.
Yeah,
we can shoot an email out with this information because it's dirt cheap and it's just helping the community. And one thing I wanted to do is just look at this one screen here, and is this 5-day, push the wrong button again. It's this 5-day challenge. Now, we didn't really talk much about it, but I think that people would appreciate if we sat with them and helped them produce a couple posts and run a challenge, and then run a posting party behind it. And so what we want to do, and we're not 100% sure we're going to do, depends on the people that are interested. And I think Jean-Michel has posted the link. If you're interested, sign up. We're doing it for free. We're doing it 2 weeks from now. It won't be next week. It'll be the week after next. And it'll be Monday to Friday. And what does the posting party start around 12, right? 12 Eastern. So if that's the case.
6 a.m.
Oh God, no, we're not going to do that.
I do it. You
6
want
a.m.?
business? You get up at 6 a.m. and you post. You do the posting party at 6. You do it at 11. You do it 2. You'll get
Oh,
business.
is it 11 Eastern? They have a 6,
11
11,
Eastern.
and 2.
11 Eastern.
It's
Right.
11 Eastern. Okay, we're going to do that one. So that's 6 a.m. People are in transit at 6 a.m. I don't know if they're going to do all that stuff, but 5 days, think about that. If you want consultation on how to produce and create a post, and you're saying, Troy, I'm thinking about this, you really want to talk to someone, get it moving, get the ideas going. And so Monday and Tuesday, we're going to talk about creating that post. And then Wednesday, we'll have one posting party. And then it's going to be, I guess, 11 at Eastern. It's going to start at 11 Eastern. So we'll meet 15 minutes prior to make sure everything's up and running. And we'll also go through the posting system. And then on Thursday, you might want some tweaks with your secondary post. And on Friday, you do a posting party today. That engagement is, I don't want to say priceless, but it's pricey if we had to charge for it. And what we want to do is we want to just give away stuff for the community to get them moving. Because if we build this community up, that they're engaging and actually doing stuff and producing great content and converting to clients. And it's not all about clients. Sometimes it's just about that relationship. We're moving people leaps and bounds ahead. The only thing is that Matt can't offer the software for free. So I would suggest to go ahead and, if interested, let us know. Click on the link that Jean-Michel has provided just to see the interest level. And then we'll go ahead and reach out to people. And if we get enough people, we'll do the thing for free.
And
I don't know
Troy,
Go ahead.
Troy, thank you. There's an interesting question from Pally for Matt here. He's posting in Danish, not in English. Matt, can you explain a little bit what happens on the pod when you post in a foreign language?
And also, guys, I literally have to drop off right now, but Ed, you are in control. So I'll go ahead and stop sharing my screen. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Troy.
Yeah, I guess since it's my Zoom account, I would be in charge.
Yes, sir. All right.
Take care, Troy.
Yes, so to answer the question, unfortunately, our service only works with English because the reason for that is that other members have to read your content, be able to understand it so they can leave a comment on your post. So yes, it will only work if it's in English content.
So basically, Pally, what we have clients do in this case, get together with a number of your colleagues or friends or people clients you worked with, and encourage them to contribute to your post. So you create your own little mini posting party with people and tell them, hey, I'm going to post in 30 minutes and an hour. Would you be kind and comment and like my post? So we have a lot of people that do this. Now the challenge with this, it will work a few times, but LinkedIn is going to tag. Eventually, LinkedIn is going to notice it's always the same people that are helping you boost your post. So at some point, that strategy is going to fail. Okay, so just be aware that it will help for a while. But you do want to, that's the beauty of the BIP2B platform. They randomly assign the 20 people that are going to be engaging with your
15.
post. well, probably more than 15 to make sure you get those 15, right? But yeah, and then to make sure that it looks random and varied from the LinkedIn point of view. Does that make sense, Matt? Did I say it right?
That's correct, Louis. That's correct, Jean-Michel. So every time that's what our system does. It's not like someone assigning posts. It's a system that randomly assigns different people to different posts each single time.
How many members do you have right now that are participating in those parties?
So we have around 230 members. Obviously, not of them all are active all the time. But yeah, I would say it's safe to say that out of 230, you're always going to get different people.
Yeah, well, there's plenty of room to grow, obviously, because it's a very powerful system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not new. They've been around for a while. I've been using Beat Together for almost 2 years, I think now.
Yeah, we launched it 2020, so almost 2 years now. Almost 2 years now.
I'm one of the founding members. I should get a discount. I need to talk to you offline about this.
You're a beta tester. You were a beta tester.
Yeah, should be grandfathered in as a founding customer.
Yeah. So I saw another question here that, if you don't mind, I wanted to address. Gregory Weeks was asking here, how do people get the special bonus? So I was just going to say that if someone signs up to the challenge and then also get access to Beep Together, we will be able to know who it is. So we'll just send you that bonus right away. So there's no need to do anything. Just by signing up, we will know that and we will send you the bonus.
And I will say this, if there's a lot of clients that I've picked up through posting, and it's only been after I started using Beep Together. One of my first clients that we picked up for email open rate optimization happened last year in January. And it was another member of Beep Together who then told her husband about what we did. And he became a client. It was a $1,500 client. He referred over the past year over 8 people to us. That's been worth, I don't know, probably $25,000, $30,000. And then some of those people have referred people to us. And that was just off of one post. It was a case study, video case study post, and I boosted it. But I've had customers actually come from the Beep Together community. So you have like-minded people in that community. They see what you do. They've been reacting to your posts for a couple of months, 3 months or so. They get to know you. They start asking you about what you do. So there's built-in opportunities. And when I talk to other people that are in the community, they say they've picked up clients from the Beep Together community. So there's the opportunity for that, but the reach that you get from the community and getting to reach their second level people and reaching more of your own first level people is invaluable. It really is an invaluable thing. If you're going to be posting, use a service like Beep2B. I do not post any meaningful content unless I'm posting in a post party, because I find it's just not worth my time to do it otherwise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were doing a Facebook Live earlier today, and actually Mike and I were talking about kind of like what to expect on LinkedIn for this year. And one of the things that we talked about was content is not going anywhere. Like LinkedIn is still super aggressive on promoting or getting people to create more content on the platform, because they are switching their strategy of being just like a place where you posted your online curriculum to actually be a place where you can create content, and just like any social media platform. So it's still super relevant, and the results, like you said, like we even became your clients. Remember?
Yeah, that's true.
We became your clients, and that's because we were seeing what you were posting, and then when the right time came and we needed something, there you were the person that we talked to.
Well, I want to say we've looked at a number of pods out there, and you guys have the best system, hands down, and the most effective ones. There's no doubt about that. And I want to say something else too, because you can also. So getting good exposure with your posts is a great first step. But you have to remember, if you really want to build business, you have to follow up with the people who engage with your post. Okay, so there's two different ways you're going to get business, and we see a lot of professionals and business owners and consultants. They a lot of times they miss out on that step. So remember, you'll be putting your content out there. You're getting visibility for yourself. A lot of those people are going to be curious about who you are, and they're gonna check out your LinkedIn profile, and bang, that's where you catch them. Because those people have pre-qualified themselves. They have showed two things. They show they're interested in you and what you're doing, and they are showing that they are active on LinkedIn. So they are too shy to invite you to connect on LinkedIn. That's what you should be doing. And we've talked about this in a previous class and previous show, right? With a premium LinkedIn account, you will know who those profile viewers are. You basically will know the traffic coming to your LinkedIn profile generated by your post, generated by your LinkedIn SEO and brand. So you want to invite those people to connect and follow up with them. And that's how you're going to really, really grow your business really quickly, by leveraging digital marketing.
Yeah, you could build your LinkedIn business just by posting and taking the time to follow up with those people that have engaged with your post. You can cherry pick with a system like Beat Together. You can cherry pick the people that you want to reach out to, because you'll have more people to reach out to than you'll have time. That's the reason why I go in waves when I post. I post and then I'm following up with people. I'm looking for the people I want to work with as clients. I'm able to close some of those people, and then I start the process all over again. That's one of the legs of my business building strategy, and it works consistently, and works very well.
Definitely. And as you guys were saying previously, like, you don't need to have tons of new clients. Like in LinkedIn especially, you're going to be doing B2B. So you're not looking to get 100 new clients a month or something yet. If you build a few meaningful relationships, that's good enough. And the content serves you for that. So yeah, totally agree on that.
So do we have any other questions? And Jean-Michel, do you mind putting the link up one more time for the challenge, and then also for Beat Together? I can't imagine that you'd sign up for Beat Together and not do the challenge. You can't do the challenge without Beat Together. We're going to tell you that you need to get Beat Together if you're going to do the challenge. So even if you only sign up for 1 month, and you'll get hooked once you do it once. If you've posted before and you've had low engagement, and I see it all the time, like 2 people like it, maybe a comment here or there. When you see 15 comments in the first hour to 90 minutes of posting, and then you see what happens after that 15 comments, 15 likes happens, you're totally hooked. I would not cancel Beat Together. It's like I would never cancel it. Even if I don't use it for a month or 2, which I've gone a couple of months without using it, I still keep it because it's so valuable as far as reaching other people and building a credibility in your profile. When somebody looks at your profile and they see that you've got 100 likes or 100 comments or 50 likes and 100 comments on your post, they think, well, this guy must know what he's talking about. Look at all these people that have liked their post.
Right, and also, one of the things we haven't really talked about is a right way and a wrong way of posting. So we see a lot of professionals are posting the wrong way on LinkedIn and ending up in what we call the LinkedIn jail. Okay, so I'll give you the typical example. So so during the 5-day challenge, we also educate you on what not to do and what to do, which is very important. Because posting is one thing, you have to know how to post and what to post. So I'll give you a typical example. So let's say you found this great article on Forbes magazine and you want to share it with your network, right? Guess what you're going to do, right? That's what most people do. You're going to share the link to the Forbes magazine article on the post on LinkedIn, right? And you feel good about it. Guess what? LinkedIn doesn't, because LinkedIn wants to keep people on LinkedIn to be exposed to advertising, etc. Right? They make their money just like Google, just like Facebook with advertising, right? A lot of their money from. So anytime you post a link that sends people outside of LinkedIn, actually LinkedIn is going to shun you from the LinkedIn algorithm that Matt was talking about. It's going to shun you from actually a wide distribution. So you're going to be lucky if 200 of your connections are going to see. Okay, that's about it. And if you keep doing it, LinkedIn is going to put you in jail for up to 3 months, possibly. So one way around of this is develop a long post, summarize the article in a text post with a great image, no link. And then at the end of your post, you can write something like, check out the full article in the first comment below. You post on LinkedIn and then you comment on your own post right away. And then you share the full link to your blog on your website, to the Forbes magazine article. This will bypass the LinkedIn police. Okay, so just to give you some example of, there's a lot of things that Troy hasn't had a chance, Troy and Matt haven't had a chance to cover today. And we are going to debunk the right way and the wrong way of doing posts for you on LinkedIn during the challenge.
All right. Well, we like to wrap up close to the top of the hour. Here we are coming in the bottom of the hour. So if there are any last questions, please go ahead and ask them there. I will send out some follow-up emails. There'll be a replay of this. I really would encourage you to sign up for the challenge. It's like I say, it's $49 to get Beep Together, even and use Beep Together after the challenge. If you use it, you'll get hooked on it. But the challenge is going to be designed to help you get some engagement right away with your post and write the type of post that will turn into business for you. And if you have a consistent and predictable method like posting for getting business, then you're pretty much where you need to be in getting new business getting new customers or clients for your business. Everybody's looking for a consistent, predictable way to do that, and this is one of the methods that I use. It's not the only method, but it is one of the methods that I use to bring in consistent, have a consistent client flow. That's it for questions.
There is one question for, let me see, I think I saw just one question from Maria Elena. That's probably a good one for you, Matt. So can you tell us a little bit about what happens when you reshare somebody else's post?
Yes, so look, you can do it even by using Beep Together. You can promote. That's not a problem. But I would not advise you to do that. I would say that's going to be, in general, the worst type of performing post that you will get. Just because, as I mentioned in the beginning, LinkedIn has like different criteria to decide which content they share most. And you sharing other people's posts will boost their own post, but not your post. Because that's kind of like, I don't want to call it that way, but that's kind of like the lazy approach to creating content. You're actually not bringing more new value to the platform. You're simply taking something that already exists and sharing it for someone else. So just know that the LinkedIn algorithm is not going to boost that type of post as much as if you created original content. LinkedIn loves original content and content that's created inside the platform. So as Jean-Michel was saying, not something that's living on Forbes magazine or YouTube or whatever, content that was created on LinkedIn.
And Maria, so Maria Elena, so I mean, it will do one thing for you. You will have boost the original posters content, you know, but it's not, as Matt is saying, it's going to be difficult for you to create more visibility for yourself with the reshare.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm. Let me see, there's more. Well, you're welcome, Dimitri, and yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed the information today. We appreciate you all coming in together. You're welcome, Maria. And Marianne, Paul is asking if we should put his brochure in a post or a business card. I would assume, Marianne, are you talking about like a PDF brochure you want to share with your network? So, okay, saying yes. So, I mean, you know, typically anytime you post something on LinkedIn, whether it's a video, an image, you know, a document, remember that you still need to help the LinkedIn algorithm to know who to show it to, right? So you need to develop more text. Even if you're doing a video, you know, on LinkedIn, you have to have enough long text description before the video. So this will help LinkedIn, the LinkedIn engine and LinkedIn SEO to really know who to show it to, right? And also don't forget to use the hashtags also, you know, use between 3 and 5 hashtags at the end of each post, any kind of post, to piggyback on different active communities on LinkedIn, you know, who are getting feed from those different tags, okay, hashtags. Does that answer your question? Good, you're welcome, Ryan. So we have another question from Vesna. Can you share the link to your Facebook Live, which you mentioned previously?
Was that, who are you asking about?
I think that was me. I mentioned that today we did a Facebook Live and we were talking about something related. If it's okay with you guys, I'll drop the link in the chat.
Go right ahead.
Sure. There it is.
Oh, I mean, you on LinkedIn Live, yeah, Facebook Live, yeah, of course, thank you.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
All right. Okay,
Beautiful.
I'm gonna for sure. Another question. How long does it take from being new to LinkedIn to positioning then monetizing time scale? Well, one of the things that you can do is there's 2 approaches that you can use to scale up on LinkedIn, and it's posting and commenting. And when I'm commenting on other people's stuff, you'll get I would do both. So I would post, and even if you don't have that many connections on LinkedIn, because of the post party, you're going to be reaching out most likely to 2nd and maybe even 3rd level connections that will be commenting and liking your posts. So those people will, their 1st level connections will be seeing the interaction. So some of those people are going to be posting. So you'll get some activity there. You should then look at who is engaging with your post, and then determine whether those people would be good clients for you, then reach out to those individuals. Then the next thing that you can do is, in fact, what I would do, this would be the strategy that I would use. I would look at people who have commented on my posts or liked my posts. I would then go to their profile. I would see if they're active on LinkedIn. I would like and then comment on their post. And then I would engage them in some sort of conversation. You want to have a meaningful conversation in public on LinkedIn via a post. Then the next step is you send them a connection request. You're going to get a very high percentage of those people that will connect with you. And I get 85+% of people that will connect with me if I follow that. Then the next step that I would use is that I would reach out to them. I do this next. I would follow them. If they have a business, I'd follow their business. And then I would send them a connection video. Troy's talked about that before. The next thing that I would do is see if I could set up a meeting, just an introduction meeting, and I would talk about collaboration. I wouldn't talk about me trying to sell them anything. I'd say maybe there's an opportunity to collaborate. And if you say it that way, then they think that there's an opportunity to sell you their service, or that you're going to work together to get business. And so a lot of people will take that meeting. At that point, you don't really want to sell. You want to get an opportunity to learn more about their business. And then there's a process that I follow. I don't want to go into it now, but if you attend my next event, which is on the 19th, it's called The New Rules of Email Marketing. I'm going to be talking about this LinkedIn plus email equals growth process. And you'll see that process that I follow. It works really well if you combine it with Beat Together and posts that you would write, and those people who engage with those posts because you're already on their radar. So if you go on their profile and you like one of their comments, they're going to recognize you because they commented on one of your posts or they liked one of your posts. It's a really great way to go from like today, not knowing anyone, not having any business, and 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, actually getting clients. It can happen that fast. It does take some work, it takes some effort, but it can happen just that fast. I don't know if that helped. It should have helped. It's a process I use all the time. I use it with my clients. I teach it to my clients. It works. It works.
And like, I was texting with some people earlier today in the chat also. One great strategy that is used to piggyback on other influencers' traffic is to mention someone in the post, right? You've seen how you can do this on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. You type the arrobas character and then start typing the name of a person. And LinkedIn will allow you to tag someone's name, and they will get notified that you tag them into a post. But before you do this, because we've seen a lot of people, even if this group abuse that privilege, right? Before you do this, you want to first engage with their own post, create visibility, show that you are supporting them, helping them with traffic, and like Ed said, then connect with them, engage with them, and then eventually, mention them in your post and hoping that they will engage.
Yeah.
But
if you follow that cycle, and it works, it works. It'll take you 1 to 2 weeks to start having meaningful conversations with prospects that will end up doing business with you. But you have to be disciplined enough to do the steps. But it is a process that absolutely works.
And it's the same principle of social selling. We're all talking about social selling. There's actually nothing about selling in social selling. It's all about building a relationship, partnership, creating visibility for you, providing value, sharing great content, and then eventually getting into a one-on-one conversation with a prospect or potential partner. So this takes work. Works. But if you do it well.
Yeah, I find that when people are setting meetings, again, I'm going to talk about this next week during my event, but not to try I'm not trying to hijack this event. I'm not trying to hijack this event, but there's a couple of mistakes that people make. And the first step really is to get on people's radar. The easiest way to get on people's radar is to get the post boosted, and get a high reach so other people can see it. It also gives you a lot of credibility. But when you set up a meeting, the thing that I find that most people they lose their opportunity of getting a client is the transition from having this networking conversation to transitioning into business. I'll talk about that next week and how you make that transition. But that transition is the most important thing that you can do to turn a networking conversation into a business conversation and actually have the other person thank you for bringing it up, where they don't feel like there's any selling going on whatsoever. But in order to get to that point, you have to create those opportunities, and posting, getting your post boosted so more people can see it is what gives you the opportunity to do those types of things. If you don't do that first, you never have that opportunity to have that networking meeting that can turn into business for you. All right, we're now past the bottom of the hour, so I'm going to wrap things up unless there's another question.
Well, I would answer one question from, let me see, what was that? Antoine, you're asking, but you're on the visibility side, trying to create your niche in the science and tech space, you know. And I mean, this is an industry, I mean, think about it, the type of content in science and tech is pretty exciting, you know, so it's a great opportunity for you to create visibility for yourself by posting great content related to what's happening in science and tech, you know, and create curiosity with people. And that's not necessarily, it's actually a great industry to engage into, because it's not necessarily, because the subject interests a wider audience than just your target audience, right? Because we're not excited about the new development in science, tech space, right? Exotic stuff, right? New development here and there. So it's actually a great subject to generate a lot of visibility into.
What I'm going to do, I'm putting my email address in there. If you want to reach out to me, there's my email address. And just shoot me an email and I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. I should have done that for people that still have some questions here at the end. I'll give you a chance to copy my email address, but feel free to reach out to me, and I'm more than happy to answer your emails, and even we can set up a quick 5-minute meeting if that makes sense. It's just easier to answer your question in a quick Zoom meeting. No selling in that meeting. Just I can't sell in 5 minutes. I'd be a heck of a salesperson if I could close people in 5 minutes. That's why we set up 5-minute meetings. So there's not an opportunity to sell, just to answer somebody's question real quick.
Marion, thank you so much. She's saying that she enjoyed us. We're awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge. But we appreciate you. Thank you. Glad you enjoyed it and got a lot of value today. Another question from Ed Wynn here. He was going to ask you, well, Antoine was asking you, Ed, if you would discuss post boosting. I don't know if we're going to have time to cover all of this.
Shoot me an email, and then
Yeah.
I'll handle it in an email. Maybe I'll create a video email for you, so you can just, you wouldn't have to read a lot of text, and I can cover that for you.
Yeah, and then you'll have when you log in our platform, if you want to check out the 5-day challenge, you know, you'll have access to Troy, Ed, and my contact information in more detail. So think around to poke around there for your LinkedIn trainers page. And we're very grateful to have Matt today. Thank you so much.
Matt's awesome, and he's tall.
Thank you for having me, guys. I'm not that tall. I'm not that tall. The ceiling is a little bit deceiving here.
Yeah, but see, Ed is a hat guy, right? So he's worried about you because there's no way you can wear a hat in your office, right? But no, it was wonderful to have you
thanks
today,
so much,
Matt.
Matt.
So really appreciate you
and
the insight you've given us. You guys have created an amazing product, a great platform. You know, I know it took you several years to develop such a sophisticated system. So congratulations, and I'm sure we'll see you around on another show.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me today.
All right. Well, thanks, everyone. There will be a replay. We'll get that out probably tomorrow. It's got to render. And you'll be hearing more from us as we talk a little bit about the challenge. We do have to get a certain number of people in before we can pull it off. I have a number in my head that we have to hit before I'm willing to participate. So I will shoot out some emails and try to get enough people involved so that we can pull this thing off. But if we can't, you should still sign up for Beep Together because you'll get great benefits for using their platform.
Oh yeah, definitely. And you guys, you're welcome. Glad you enjoyed the show today, and I got a lot of value. And yes, to answer, if you were not able to be there for the whole show, don't worry. You will get a link to the replay in the next couple of days. So so you guys will be able to watch it again.
Take care, everyone.
Thank you so much. Have a great day. Have a great week. Bye bye.